All right, Josh NPR from Windsurfing Magazine. I'm here with Marcilio Browne. We're hanging out in Paia, Maui, and we just wanted to sit down with Brasilio and ask him a few questions about life on the tour, windsurfing in general, learning freestyle, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So, first, Brasilio, why don't you say hello?
Hello, my name is Marcilio Browne. I'm 21 and I'm from Brazil.
Gotcha. So, Brasilio, that's your name on the tour. Pretty much everyone knows you. People in the magazine, they all call you Brasilio. So tell us a little bit about where this name came from.
Yeah, my name it's Marcilio Browne, also my father's name. So in Brazil they used to call my dad Brown, and Brauzinho it's like a smaller version of my dad. So that's I have that nickname since I was born, basically.
Gotcha. So pretty much everyone in the windsurfing world is calling you the same name your parents used when you were a baby.
Yeah, it's the same nickname since I was born.
Cool. So your family is a windsurfing family, right?
Yeah, my dad was competing for many years. My uncle, my brother just won the Formula Worlds in Brazil last week, and my mom doesn't windsurf anymore, but she definitely knows how to. And yeah, I'm lucky to have a family like that.
Very cool. So your brother Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So he took this slalom. He headed into racing and mostly formula, and you headed into freestyle on waves. How come the split?
It was always distinct since we were really young. My brother always liked a little more to follow my dad and my uncle and our older friends into the racing thing, and I was never really caught up by racing. I always kind of liked to hang out with Kali and Ricardo and those guys that were more into the freestyle, and I always surfed, paddle surfed since I was really young. So I was always more into waves than freestyle, and he likes to watch everything that involves racing, race cars, Formula One, everything. So since we are really young, it was really distinct.
Gotcha. Now, do you guys still, when you're home, do you windsurf together pretty often?
Yeah, we do
He
windsurf.
sails waves,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
he rips on waves, and as soon as we are home and we have good conditions, we do sail together. He also comes to Maui here sometimes, and we go to Hokipa together. We always share a house when he's here, and it's really fun. My dad also can do back loops and push loops, so when we are at home, it's probably the most fun I have windsurfing, just because I'm able to have them around.
cool. Now, what about on the race course? Can you come close to keeping up with him?
Not really. He'll probably do laps on me on a formula board. He's just so strong and has such strong legs, and my legs just start shaking after 30 seconds on a straight line.
Yeah, it's different selling that gear, huh?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. So, Brasilio, you started out as really on the freestyle scene and have kind of been progressing more towards the wave scene. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yes, I always liked maneuver directed windsurfing. So for me, it was easier to start with the freestyle first of all because of the place I used to live in. And when I was really young, that was all my friends were doing it, and I was really into it. I had so much fun, and I think freestyle is still one of the best windsurfing disciplines. And it was just super easy because it was front of my house. I could just sail as much as I wanted, and it was a really big step for me in my career. I got my first world title in 2007 on freestyle, and after that, with the time, I just got more and more interested in waves as I was spending more time in Hawaii and just watching good waves everywhere. And I started to feel like the freestyle was a little bit getting on my way for that. Like I couldn't go to some locations I would like to because I'll have a contest here and there. So this year, beginning of last year, I had an injury, and that was like everything I needed. I just decided it was time to quit the freestyle and fully focus on waves, and that's what I'm doing now.
Gotcha. You have a little bit of an injury right now, huh?
Yeah, just the other day in Hokipa, I twisted my foot and knee a little bit, and just got the X-rays done, and there's no broken bones or anything. So I'm hoping it's not gonna be anything really bad, and I'm looking forward. I'll be fine in a week ready for Cape Verde.
Gotcha. Do you plan on going to Cape Verde a little early to train, or are you just going to jump right in?
My flight is booked for the 6th, and I'm kind of watching the forecast, and also my foot. If my foot's not good, I'll wait a few more days. And also, even if my foot heals and we have no wind and no waves there in Maui, it's going to be fine. I'll just stay in Maui for a few extra days. But it will all depends on my foot and the conditions. I'm not sure yet.
Gotcha. So, in between the freestyle and the wave world, the freestyle world is definitely challenging in terms of like all the new moves that are happening and keeping up with what like the newest moves on the tour are. But the wave tour is challenging too. What is the difference in the challenges between the disciplines?
I think both the level are probably as high, like in that different ways. Like freestyle, it's crazy what guys are doing now, and I wouldn't say it's different on waves. The level is super high, and I think in the end it's just a matter of taste. You know, what do you like more? I think to win a world title in either of these disciplines is equally as hard. So it
Yeah.
really comes down if you like to do more freestyle or if you like to do more waves. And at the moment, for myself, I love wave sailing, and that's why I choose it. But I have full respect, and I think the freestyle guys should have full credits for what they are doing, because that stuff it's crazy and it's really technical. If you want to be at that level, you really have to give it time and be on the water every day. And not only there, you have to be focused and training, like pushing yourself every day. Otherwise, you'll
Gotcha.
never do those things.
It seems like in the freestyle world, it's the newest guys with the newest tricks are most impressive. In the wave sailing world, it's some of the oldest guys with the most time on the waves are always still kind of ripping it up a little bit. Is it more of a challenge to kind of overtake these veterans with lots of experience, or?
Yeah, I think in terms of competition, wave sailing, it takes a little more time to do well, because you need to have a little extra experience to deal with choosing right waves, to be on the right place, and choosing the right gear. And freestyle, you need a little bit of that too, but it's less. It's more like you go out there, you do your moves, and the guy who do more moves wins. And in waves, there is a few other things that can be on your way if you don't know how to deal with them. But I think the young guys are doing pretty good on tour, without a doubt. Victor Fernandez is right now leading. Ricardo Campello is right now second, and I think Philip Costa is third. So I
It's a
think they,
pretty young crowd right there.
yeah, I think the young guys are definitely there. And then we can never count out Cao Li, who just won the last event. And apart from that, there is a whole new scene of new guys coming up. Just from being here in Maui, I could see Camille from Guadalupe. It was sailing unbelievable. There is Kai Lenny that has been pushing not only in windsurfing but also tow surfing on big waves and leading this SUP. And Philip Costa, I don't have to say anything about him. He's jumping crazy in the Canary Islands. So I think we have a bright future on the sport.
Gotcha. Very cool. Very cool. So for some of my readers who are interested in learning new moves, and especially in freestyle moves, or wave sailing moves, what is like your process for learning a move? Like let's say it's one that's been done before and other people can do, and you want to learn it for the first time. Like how do you attack that process?
I think the first step is to watch it on video a lot of times and to understand in your head how it works. You know, like before you try a move in the water, you have to be able to visualize that pretty well and to be comfortable with the move in your head. And after that, you start trying on the water slowly, and it's usual that it takes time. You have to repeat it and repeat it, but just make sure that if you try and it doesn't go right, there is obviously something you're doing wrong. So it's don't do the same thing over and over and over. Try to do one thing. If somebody can film you, that definitely helps, because then you go back, watch, and see what you are doing wrong, and actually go step by step, trying to change things, like slide your hand or change your boom or do something step by step. And you have to move forward. It's not normal that you land on the first one, but if you are also repeating the same attempt and nothing's changed, there is something wrong. So try to adjust and watch yourself, and then slowly you will move forward and start learning it.
So it always has kind of struck me as funny. We call it freestyle and we think of it as this very spur of the moment, like, oh, I just blast in and do whatever trick I want to do and blah, blah, blah. But whenever I talk to the best freestylers, it sounds like at least learning it is a very analytical process. And you break it down like, okay, the takeoff, the sail flip and move. So, I mean, would you say you break down the components of the move as you're learning them pretty often to see what's working?
Yeah. I don't think you learn a move just by trying it. You really have to understand everything that it's behind, and it's good. I think it really helps when you watch, and the most detailed you get, the easier it is for you to learn, like how to throw the sail, where to put the hands. All of those things help, and a thing that does a big difference is if you have someone to film you, because then you know exactly where you're at. Sometimes when people are not filming, you think, oh, I might be doing good, but then you're doing bad, or like, oh, I might be doing bad, but then you're doing better than you thought. But it's really you have to analyze the move and not just go for it, but you have to know what you are doing and try to follow a line, and try to search for progress, not only try over and over and I cannot do it, you know. You have to be moving forward somehow, and for that I think you have to watch a lot of times.
Gotcha, cool. So we have behind us 2 boards from your sponsor, Fanatic. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, the quad, it's our most radical board on the wave line, and that's my actual personal choice for the year. I think they are pretty overall boards. We had a lot of development into them, and you know, like, we were the latest brand to put a quad on the market, but we decided, you know, if we're gonna put a quad,
The last brand.
yeah, the last brand to actually put it on production, we decided we're not gonna rush into it. We're gonna have a whole year of testing together with all the riders, and we made tons of prototypes. We tried a lot of different things. We tried different fins. We tried different boxes setups, because the quads not only take a twin and just add the boxes. So we had a lot of work into it, you know, and I think the setup we have now, it's really good. The boards are fast, you know. I've been using them in Pozo. Victor won the event in Pozo on those boards. And they are really easy to do tricks, takas, shakas on the wave, and they also have a lot of drive on bigger waves.
Tell us about this fin setup here a little bit, and how are you setting up your fins on this board?
My fins, as you see, like the boxes on this board, they are fixed for the front fins, and we really think after a year that's the best position you can find for these boards. And for myself, I usually try to make like 2 fingers, 2.5 fingers for the back fin, like that's the distance in between them. Yeah, that's right there. Maybe a little bit more further back than what it is now, but I think that's a really good setup. And if the waves get a little bit bigger, you can maybe try to play the back one a bit towards the back, but I wouldn't change it that much.
For more speed and
more grip a little bit.
Yeah.
But I play actually mostly on the base. I play on the base more than what I play on the fins.
Gotcha.
And that's a really good setup, you know. It took a lot of time, and I don't think that's much to change on this board, at least right now.
Gotcha. And so is a shape like this going to be what you're using in Cabo Verde?
Yeah, it's pretty similar, like very similar rocker, and just a few different things we are trying now, me and Victor in class. But it's we have these boards. I will have production boards over there. Now we will each one have also a few prototypes, but it's definitely on the same line, and it's really similar. That's pretty much what we will be riding.
Gotcha. Cool. Good deal. Oh, sorry. Back up. Back up there. So, Brazilian, you're pretty much living on Maui now, and you came over here from your girlfriend's shop. So you have a girlfriend here on Maui?
Yes, I have a girlfriend that her family lives here, and she's really cool, and I really enjoy spending my time with her. So it was actually perfect that she can come to Maui and work and do her own thing, and while I'm here, I'm also working and doing my windsurfing. So we both have our goals.
Is she Brazilian too, or she's?
No, she's from. She was born in the U.S. in New York, but
Oh,
she
cool.
splits her time between Maui and New York. So she spent a lot of time here.
Gotcha. Nice. Does she surf or windsurf or?
She surfs really well. She can definitely windsurf now. She's been proving a lot. Can plan, do a little bit of jibing, and
Nice.
also her father windsurfs a lot.
Oh, cool.
So her family.
Have you been teaching her to windsurf?
No, I did a little bit, but she always goes and she always keeps trying stuff by herself and learning step by step.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, if you do decide to teach her, I'm sure she'll have one of the best in the world. So.
Oops.
All right, Brazilian, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck in Cabo Verde. I hope your foot heals and you make it there.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you on the water.
Yeah, I hope so. Cool.
All right,
Thanks for the
cheers.
interview.
Nice.